Right now, 99% of men are operating on a sexual map that is completely outdated, dangerously inaccurate, and guaranteed to lead to a dead end bedroom. They believe the lie that female pleasure is a mystery, a complicated puzzle, or something that only gifted men can unlock. They focus on the wrong metrics, the mechanics, the duration, and the physical force, not realizing that a woman's orgasm doesn't start in her body, it starts in her nervous system. If you are treating sex like a performance where you have to prove your worth through physical stamina alone, you are already losing. You are creating a disconnect that leads to faked pleasure and a silent withdrawal of her desire. But today, the cycle of frustration ends. I am going to reveal the arousal gap and the three non negotiable laws of female biological response that will put you in the top 1% of lovers she has ever experienced. We are going to expose why the porn logic you grew up with is a biological trap and how the cycle syncing secret allows you to read her body better than she reads herself. I'm going to show you how to move from being a man who just gets off to a man who commands the room with absolute sexual confidence. And pay close attention to the final section because I'm revealing the zero pressure protocol, a technique so powerful that it creates a vacuum of desire, making her beg for the very thing you aren't even demanding. If you are ready to stop being forgettable and start becoming the best she's ever had, you cannot afford to miss a single second of this. To master female pleasure, you first have to unlearn the pornography blueprint. Most men grew up watching professional performers who are paid to react in a specific, exaggerated way. They see high intensity friction and immediate penetration and assume that is what a woman needs. This is piston logic, and it is biologically flawed. When you mimic what you see on a screen, you are prioritizing the visual over the visceral. You are treating her body like a machine rather than a living, breathing ecosystem. This leads to performance anxiety for you and emotional disconnection for her. When a woman feels like she is being used for a performance rather than experienced as a partner, her body shuts down. Her brain enters a state of evaluation rather than sensation. If you want to unlock her deepest orgasms, you must first throw away the script that society gave you. You must stop trying to be an alpha performer and start being a biological architect. The first law of the biological architect is closing the arousal gap. Here is a reality check that most men ignore. Male arousal is like a light switch. It is instantaneous, fueled by visual triggers, and ready for action in seconds, but female arousal is like a slow burning fire. Research shows that while a man can be ready for penetration almost immediately, a woman's body often requires 20 to 40 minutes of consistent, rhythmic stimulation to reach the same level of physiological engorgement. Most men rush to the main event when their partner is only at 10% capacity. This results in physical discomfort for her and a psychological message that her pleasure is secondary. Rule number 1: expand the foreplay. This isn't just about touching, it's about anticipation. The brain is the primary sex organ for a woman. By building tension through the day, through texts, through lingering gazes, through the anchor touch we discussed previously, you are preheating the system. When you finally reach the bedroom, you don't rush. You stay in the teasing phase until her body is literally screaming for more. When you prove that you aren't in a hurry to satisfy yourself, her safety levels skyrocket. And safety is the only foundation upon which a woman can experience a true, full bodied orgasm. The second law is the intelligence of inquiry. There is a toxic myth that a real man should instinctively know exactly what to do to every woman he encounters. This is ego talking, and it is the fastest way to become an average lover. Every woman is a unique neurological map. What sends one woman into a trance might be physically painful for another. Rule number 2: sovereign communication. A truly confident man is not afraid to ask, "How do you like to be touched right here?" Or, "What is the specific rhythm that takes you over the edge?" This isn't being clueless. This is being a specialist. When you ask her for the roadmap to her pleasure, you are doing something 99% of men are too insecure to do. You are centering her experience. This creates a massive surge of emotional intimacy. She realizes that you aren't just there to perform a routine, you are there to discover her. This open dialogue before and during intimacy removes the pressure of guessing and replaces it with the certainty of knowing. It turns sex from a solo performance into a collaborative masterpiece. The third law is the altruistic night protocol. Society has given men a reputation for being pigs who only want a quick release. Whether you like it or not, this is the background noise in every woman's mind. They often worry that their pleasure is a burden or that you are just waiting for your turn. To shatter this perception and rebuild her trust on a primal level, you must implement rule number 3, the night of her. This is a pre-negotiated evening where the boundary is set. There will be no penetration and no focus on your pleasure whatsoever. The entire night is a temple dedicated to her sensations. By removing the goal of penetration, you remove the pressure of performance. When a woman knows that nothing is expected of her, her nervous system finally drops its guard. This is often when women experience their most explosive, uninhibited orgasms because they are finally free to feel without the mental clock ticking toward your finish line. When you can give her pleasure without demanding a return, you prove your masculine abundance. You show her that you are so secure in your own sexuality that you can lead her to the peak simply for the joy of watching her get there. But even with these 3 laws, you will still fail if you don't understand the secret engine of the female body, the menstrual cycle. A woman is not the same person every week of the month. Her hormones, estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, are in a constant state of flux, and these fluctuations dictate her libido, her sensitivity, and her emotional needs. Rule number 4, the synchronized lover. When you track her cycle, you gain a God view of her desire. During her ovulatory phase, her testosterone peaks. She is more confident, more adventurous, and her body is biologically wired for high-intensity connection. During her luteal phase, she may become more sensitive, seeking more safety and comfort-based intimacy. If you try to use ovulation energy techniques when she is in her luteal phase, you will experience friction and disconnect. But when you match your approach to her internal biology, she feels seen on a level she has never experienced before. She will wonder how you always know exactly what she needs. It isn't magic, it's mastery. The final key that sets the elite 1% of lovers apart is post-intimate integration. Most men finish, roll over, and check their phones or go to sleep. This is biological abandonment. For a woman, the moments after an orgasm are when her vulnerability is at its highest. This is the bonding window. By staying present, holding her, and maintaining the afterglow connection, you are sealing the imprint. You are telling her nervous system that the safety she felt during the act was real and that it remains after the act is over. This is how you move from being a one-night experience to being the only man she wants. You are building a psychological association between you and the deepest state of peace she can achieve. You have to realize that becoming a master of female pleasure is not about studying sex. It is about studying her. It is about having the masculine discipline to slow down when the world tells you to speed up. It is about having the emotional intelligence to ask when others assume. And it is about having the biological wisdom to sync with her rhythm. When you lead with these 3 rules, time, inquiry, and altruism, you are no longer competing with other men. You are in a category of your own. You are providing a service to her soul that she cannot find anywhere else. But there is one final hurdle. You can be the best lover on the planet, you can understand her cycle, and you can close the arousal gap. But if you cannot last long enough to see the job through, none of it matters. If you are a 2-minute man, you are leaving her at the finish line every single time. There is a specific, stoic breathing technique and a muscle lock secret that allows you to control your climax with surgical precision. I've broken down the all-night stamina framework in my next video. It is the final piece of the puzzle to ensure you aren't just the man who understands her, but the man who can actually deliver. That video is on your screen right now. Click it, master your control, and let's make sure you become the legend she tells her friends about.